Welcome everybody, I'm Gold Leader, I'm here with Patronus. We are Home-Based Games, and today we're playing X-Men Mutant Insurrection.
That's right, it is the newest Marvel X-Men game released by Fantasy Flight Games, also FG.
Yeah, so I know X-Men product has been something that's been quite in demand, people have been wanting it, so here it is, and we are pretty much all set up. So we're going to actually go through how to play a game. If you have not watched, there is I want to say maybe a 15-minute video actually done by Fantasy Flight Games that shows you how to get the game set up.
And then how to play through
and the different phases, but they actually don't show a game being played.
Correct.
So there's still questions, which is where you would want this video. So I would recommend watching the FFG video first. And then watch this video, which will just make everything so much easier. Because we watched the video, I think, twice, and then we actually went through playing it, and we still had questions.
Yeah, but
which came from playing, so it really helped.
Yeah, but watching that Learn to Play definitely was worthwhile for sure. So this is pretty much set up the way that the game instructs you to do so, and I guess we can just run down some of those.
Yeah, we can run through the actual
rules.
setup instructions very quickly. Yeah. So there actually is a very simple, I'll just flash this, starting here on page 4, how to set up the game. So the first thing we do is we choose our heroes. So I can put my hero on camera. I chose Gambit.
Which, if you know Gold Leader, that is no shock.
Yep, that is my favorite X-Men by far. And Gambit's, so we can show you in case you didn't watch. So Gambit's card's pretty simple. The color of dice on there corresponds to the colors that he rolls. So he's got 2 red. That third dice is supposed to be yellow.
That's yellow.
It's just coming a little weird on our zoom camera. And then a blue. So he's red, red, yellow, blue. And then he has 5 health.
Yep, that's that number right there.
And then he has 1 ability. And his ability is when he deploys to a mission, he gets to train a fight token or a power token.
I think it's deploy period. So I think you would get it even if you went to one of the school locations.
Oh yeah, it's after you deploy, so it's deploying anywhere. And then this is Gambit's assist card. So this card is with Gambit, and if he is fighting, he gets to roll a blue and a red, if that assist card is in play with him. And additionally, if I assist Patronus, so if I give this card to her, she will get to roll the red and the blue dice. In addition, she would get to use this ability.
Correct.
As the hero, you cannot use your own assist ability.
Correct. You would use your dice in your dice pool.
Yep.
But you do not get to use your ability.
So Gambit's total pool would be red, blue, red, red, yellow, blue.
Correct.
And his ability is essentially blank for him. It's only if I give that card to her.
Correct. Which we'll show that as an example later on. I'm going to play with Phoenix. So she's 3 yellows and a blue, and her ability, once per round, if you have 2 or more dice showing power results, you may turn one of them to any result. So if she has extra power results, she can change them to whatever result she would like. And then her assist card has a yellow and a blue, and then the assist ability, which I would give to somebody else, is you may re-roll 1 die showing a power result.
Okay. So, after you choose your heroes, you have to assemble your Blackbird if you didn't, and then you just place your heroes on the Blackbird.
Yep.
That is step 1.
Correct.
Step 2 is prepare the school. There are 3 school cards, so you see them here. You just place them in the middle of the table.
They all have abilities, which we can go through later as they come up.
Then you take there's 2 decks. There's the Bond deck, and then the Mutant deck. You just shuffle them, and you put them right next to the school.
Yep.
That's the next step. The next step after that is prepare the Mission Continent decks. There are 5 of these decks in total. Each deck contains 5 cards. So this is the Asia deck, and this is the America deck.
Yep.
We randomly chose these 3 because in a 2-player game, you only choose 3 out of the 5.
Correct.
In a 4-player game, you would choose
4 out of the 5.
And in a 6-player game, you play with all 5.
I think a 5 or 6-player game.
Yeah, I think Yes. So 5 or 6 players, you would play with all 5.
Yep.
That is correct.
All right.
Yep. And then the next step is to set up your threat tracker and all of your threat decks. So this is perfect how we start them out. Threat tracker starts on 4.
That's normal mode.
That's normal. There are multiple different levels, like easy, normal, hard, advanced. We're just doing normal. You get 1 deck. You just match the colors, green, yellow, red.
Shuffle them up.
Shuffle them up. And then the other thing you do is get the villain deck. It's the villain mission deck.
Correct.
So you shuffle that up. That gets set up.
And this is essentially harder minions that will impede your ability to do things in the game.
Yeah, you'll see how they work. They essentially will come into play, and they'll probably replace a terrible mission or an easier mission with a more terrible mission.
Correct.
And then the next thing we do is we set up our token and dice pool, which we've got set up over here. It's kind of messy, but
it's fine. That's what token pools look like.
And then step 7, we have to flip one of these cards over, and that'll be the first mission we're doing.
So let's just flip a South America one here.
Okay.
So the title of this one is Runaway Mutant. And you can just to kind of see the anatomy of a card here. And I apologize. These are probably going to look real bad. So it might be easier, actually. Yeah. Just do it here. So this symbol here actually is nice. So this is actually indicating that you have to complete this mission in sequential order from top to bottom. So these green or yellow or whatever, these icons are referred to as requirements. And then the line is referred to as an objective. So this objective has 3 requirements. And this is basically indicating that you have to achieve these objectives in sequential order.
And the way you achieve them is by rolling dice and matching the symbols.
Correct.
So,
and then there's a success and a failure at the bottom.
This is definitely a dice rolling game. So if you don't like rolling dice,
or if you're bad at it like me.
It doesn't matter if you're bad, but if you don't like rolling dice, this is not the game for you.
Yeah, that's fair.
You just won't enjoy the dice game.
That's fair.
Because this is definitely a dice game.
It is a dice game, absolutely.
There's lots of ways to re-roll and modify your dice, but it is still
a dice game.
You could just get
hosed like we did in our practice game.
Yep. We got wrecked.
Yep. All right.
And then the last step is to choose a plot. So we are doing the recommended plot here.
Yeah, this will probably show up okay.
Yeah, the Brotherhood of Mutants. That's what they recommend as the very first game.
Yep.
And it has text and
instructions.
Setup.
Yeah. So Magneto, one of the most powerful mutants, has announced his intent to reshape the world with mutants in control. Setup, put Xavier's dream into play and read it aloud, which is that. And then hint, complete missions so that you can flip Xavier's dream, then complete all story missions that are put into play. So Xavier's dream, and this is going to be a little harder to get all the way on there because there's some art at the bottom, but see if we can. And that says, at long last, the day has come. I have trained you, my X-Men, to show the world the good that mutants can do, and I fear a great foe is near. This is a briefing card. Briefing cards tell you how to advance the plot toward a showdown with your foe. During play, after you complete a mission, place a success on this card, which is just one of these, just to track. At the end of a round, if the number of success icons on this card is at least the number of heroes plus 2, then flip this card. And that's how you advance through the game to be able to win.
Yeah, so we would have to complete 4 missions.
Correct.
Which is not as easy as it sounds.
2. Yeah.
So
that's all of our setup.
That is set up, and then basically we just start playing. And, and there's a bunch of phases, and we're going to go through them.
Yeah, so this is just the cheat sheet for phases. We're not going to really go through this in depth at this point because
we'll do
just
it as we play.
Yep. So phase 1 is the deploy phase. So each hero deploys to a mission or a school card. Now these school cards all allow you to heal damage and then give you another effect. Typically, our assumption is the first turn, you're probably never going here because you have no damage to heal. So it's a turn off where you don't need to take a turn
it doesn't make sense to really go there. The effects aren't going to be very useful to you. You're going there to heal damage because, so in the game, if your hero is knocked out, meaning they're...
You meet your health threshold.
What happens is the character is basically out of the game, and you have to get a new character.
Yep.
But the other bad thing is this threat increases, which makes the game harder.
Correct.
So you want to avoid getting knocked out, which is why you would go here to heal. Plus, these cards also have other benefits. Some could be pretty good.
Yep. So essentially, we're just going to take turns deploying. Order doesn't really matter.
Yep. And the thing to be aware is how strong, like how your odds are of completing these cards. Because like we learned, if you deploy 2 characters to the same mission, but the first active character, the character who's taking their turn goes first, and they just completed, the second character wasted their whole turn.
Correct.
So that's something to be aware of. That happened to us right away from the...
And the way that you can kind of think about how easy or difficult it will be for you to complete a mission is the color of dice actually are weighted to specific results. So the blue dice are weighted towards the teamwork icon, that X icon. The yellow dice are weighted towards power, that DNA icon. And then the red dice, as you can imagine, are weighted towards fighting symbols.
Yep. So this one is pretty even and actually requires 2 fight, 2 power, and 2 teamwork. And
you also have to do them in order.
That's the other part.
And you'll see how that plays out. So honestly, we'll probably just both come here just to try and
I think so. It's going to be kind of hard because I am not very good at the other things.
Yeah.
So I think I also have...
You have better fighting.
I have 3 red.
Right. You have better fighting, and I have better teamwork potentially. So I think we both deploy here. So Gambit can deploy first.
Yep.
When he deploys, he gets to use his ability.
And my ability essentially is I can give myself a token. And one of the tokens that I really need is this.
Yep.
So I'm going to take this one.
Correct.
Now my card lets me get a fight token or a power token. It doesn't let me get the teamwork, so that's why I don't want to do the teamwork.
Correct. So then Phoenix is going to also deploy here. She has no deploy effects. So we are done with the deployment phase.
Yeah, so now the question is, we want to switch cards?
Well, you don't do that yet.
Do we want to assist?
Right, but we don't do that quite yet. So then we go to the next phase, which is the mission phase. And then there's actually a blowout on the helper cards for how to go through the mission phases. So the first thing we do is choose who's going to go first.
Yep.
We want Gambit to go first because he's going to have an easier job of doing all of the fighting icons that we have to do first.
Yeah, because of the arrow, we have to do the first objective.
Normally, you don't have to do the objectives in order unless that arrow symbol is.
Correct.
So we want Gambit to go first. He can then choose to have me assist him. And assisting essentially means I take my card and I give it to him, and it essentially replaces his abilities and things like that here.
I don't think we want to have me assist because I just want to get 2 fight results.
I agree.
And I've got 3 red, and we really just want her to get those.
Because you have the science token anyway.
I have the science token taken care of.
Or not science, the power token anyway.
Now, another thing that's to keep in mind, if you notice on these cards, you'll see that the objective rows, the requirements have colors that match the threat. So green versus green, yellow, yellow. So right now, because we're at the green requirement, we don't have to complete that yellow requirement.
Correct.
So all she needs and all 6 of her dice is to get 2 teamwork symbols. I need to get 3 symbols, but one of my symbols I've guaranteed by my deploy.
Right.
So I think just teaming up here and just keeping our cards not assisting is the way to go.
Correct, because ultimately we want him to have the fighting symbols, and the best way to get those is on the red dice.
Yep. So
statistically.
So I'm going to. I've got 2 dice from my card, 1 die from my assist card.
Yep.
And then a yellow from my card and a blue.
Yeah, so that's step 2 here, which is assembling the dice pool.
Yep.
And then you're going to start rolling.
Yep. So here I go.
So roll dice.
All right.
And you just got to shuffle them in a little bit
there.
Yeah,
I'm going to get them on camera for you. So we got a couple symbols here.
And I guess this is a perfect time to talk about the helmet symbol.
Yeah, so
that we haven't talked about yet.
Here's our fight symbols.
Yep.
Okay. Here's our
teamwork
symbol. Our power symbols.
Yep.
And then the villain symbol.
Yes. So that is, as Skull Leader just said, that is the villainy die symbol.
Yeah, and right now, there's no villain effect on this card, so the villain symbol is just a blank.
Correct.
It has no effect.
If there was a card that had that matching symbol on here, in order to re-roll that villainy die, you would have to deal with
There's
the
a penalty for
consequences.
re-rolling it, essentially.
Correct.
And we'll deal with it when it comes up, because it will come up.
Yep, so that's
So
it's essentially a blank result.
So right now, for me to succeed, all I need to do is keep these two symbols.
Correct.
So I don't actually need to re-roll anything.
Correct.
So I'm just going to let it roll here. I actually don't even need to spend my token.
Correct.
So I'm not going to.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my 3 results right here. So what I could do is I could just place these here.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, so we are in a roll dice.
Complete objectives, yeah.
So now I've rolled all the dice. If I had any re-rolls, I could re-roll twice. I don't need. I have exactly what I need. That's why I'm putting it there. So then we go to complete objectives. So I'm going to spend these dice results. So I'm going to remove this and replace it with a success. Bang. My line's done.
Correct.
Now, here's the other thing. Oh, wait. I could... Okay.
I mean, you could try for the second one, but it's probably...
Well, because if I fail, I'm going to suffer the penalty.
No, we don't fail until we both try.
Check outcomes is part of attempting a mission.
I understand, but it's only...
I think...
If all heroes at the mission have been active, then you resolve a failure.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So everybody at this mission gets to attempt it before you have to resolve a failure.
Okay. Well, I might as well... Since I've got 2 of the results I need, I might as well re-roll this die.
If you want to, that's fine.
Didn't get it.
You can re-roll one more time, technically.
Didn't get it.
Okay.
So I'm done.
Yep. And although he could apply those other results here, if you don't complete the objective with all of the requirements, you don't get to add the success
And only
result.
one hero can complete an objective. I can't take my 2 dice, put it here, and then she takes her 1 dice.
Correct. Yes, correct. So all we can do is complete that one objective line.
So now
so
it's
then
up to
it's
her.
my turn to become the active player. I could choose to have Gambit assist me, in which case I would grab his assist card and put that here. But honestly, I think
you don't want a red
I'd probably
die for any reason.
There's no reason for me to get a red, so I'm just going to do 4 yellows and 2 blues.
Yep. And you're just looking for...
And roll that up. We're looking for 2 teamworks. And once per round, if you have 2 or more dice showing the power symbol, I can turn one of those to any result that I like. Essentially, as long as we get 2 powers,
we got 2 powers.
then I can turn one of those 2 powers into a teamwork, but we still need to get another.
All right, so we're going to hold on to this 1 teamwork result and just put it here for right now. She's going to re-roll all of these dice because they are helping her.
Yeah, that's fine.
And there's the other teamwork. So we don't have to complete the yellow result.
Because we're on the green level.
Because we're on the green level.
So I'm spending these dice in order to accomplish this result.
Yep, and that's step 4, complete objective. Spend dice, complete the result.
So then the last thing we do is check the outcome. If all of the objectives have been completed, which they are, then we resolve the success step. So we'll pull ourselves here back to the Blackbird. Clear these off. Our success result is 1 hero draws a mutant card.
Perfect.
There we go. So we'll put this in our completed pile over here. So we'll draw 1 mutant card, which is Warlock. When you become the active hero, you may discard Warlock to place 1 success on an uncompleted objective at your mission.
That's cool.
Nice. All right. So we'll leave him here for the moment. And then we also have to put because we completed a mission, we're completing part of our story. So we're putting 1 of those there.
This happens at the end of the round?
It's during your turn, anytime you complete a mission.
Gotcha. But at the end of the round, if you have 4, then it goes off. Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. So that was the end of the mission phase. We then go into the threat phase. We have to increase the threat for each exclamation mark that is face up on the board.
which right now we defeated, so there are none. So no threat increase.
Correct. The next part of that.
And there's something to talk about with threat. So you lose the game in one of three ways. You lose the game if you run out of threat track. So if you get to 16, game over.
Correct.
You lose the game if you draw the last card of the red threat deck. Game over. And then you lose the game if the heroes are defeated in the showdown.
Correct.
Or
the last fight. Yeah.
the last most unlikely scenario.
That's true.
You lose the game if you run out of the 16 heroes in the box to go through. That means you've died so many times that you've gone through all 16.
Yeah,
There's
I have
no
a
more
feeling
heroes.
this is going to happen before that would ever.
I can see that happening in a 6-player game, possibly.
Maybe.
In a 6-player game, because you have 6, and if everyone dies once,
Yeah.
that's 12 heroes out of the 16.
I guess that's possible.
But that one's it is in the rulebook that happens.
Yeah. All right, so next in the threat phase is we have to flip missions based on the number of heroes that we have. So we have 2 heroes, which means there needs to be 1 mission face up in play, period. If there's already 1 available on the continents, we do not have to flip it.
Yeah, that's why it says if none face up on a continent.
Correct.
There are none, so yes, we have to flip one. So what did we do last time? We did South America.
Okay.
So why don't we let's go to Europe.
Okay.
All right, so we got a scared mutant. So this one's not too bad because the red track item, the red requirements we don't have to do because we don't have red threat.
Yep.
So really just 4 icons. So a singular person might be able to do this.
Agreed. So that stays there. And then the last thing we have to do in the threat phase is draw and resolve a threat card.
Okay.
You draw a card corresponding to the zone in which you're at.
And this could change if you want a single hero now, because we could draw a terrible sentinel, which we just did. All right.
And that's going to look horrible on that card, but that's okay.
Yeah. So we'll put it on camera. So this is a sentinel.
Yeah.
And a sentinel essentially is
attached.
an attached objective to a mission.
Yep.
He also comes with threat. So now this mission, if we don't complete it, it's going to give us more threat. He's got that villain penalty for re-rolling villain dice. And then his is an objective, so that's what you need. Yep. So this is going to attach to that.
Correct. There can only ever be 1 sentinel on any mission at a time. If you reveal additional sentinels and they cannot get attached to a mission, they just get discarded and the threat level increases.
Oh, okay. And here's one of the things that's kind of annoying. There's only 10 of these threat level cards.
At each stage.
At each stage. When you run out of cards at a threat level, say we get stuck on this mission for 4 or 5 turns. And the threat's not going up because
it's only 1.
It's say the threat's not going up because this is not here.
Correct.
We just couldn't beat this thing. Well, we're going to keep drawing these green cards.
Correct.
When you run out of green cards, then you have to start drawing yellow cards. When you run out of yellow cards, then you have to start drawing red. And it doesn't matter what level you're at.
Correct.
So that's...
Yeah, it starts to get a little rough.
It's kind of like a clock that they put into the game.
Correct. So that's the end of the threat phase. The last phase of a round is the regroup phase. So any heroes that were deployed to the school get returned to the Blackbird. And then any assist cards that were exchanged get returned to their owners. And any exhausted cards get refreshed.
Yep. So like if you exhausted Warlock or if you had a bond card, you would ready that as well.
Exactly. So that is the end of an entire round.
Yep.
We go back to the deploy phase.
Yep. So now we've got another thing here, and we have to decide if we want to double team this or we want to solo it and spread out.
I think I could easily I think I could easily do this one. If nothing else, I think I could get rid of the Sentinel.
Yeah. This one seems pretty hard. The power is on the yellow.
Correct.
I only have 1 yellow die.
Yeah, it'll be hard for you to do.
Yeah, it would be pretty hard for me to do. Although I could easily take out 1 objective line because I have a guaranteed power token. So like I could guarantee take out this one, leaving you with the top 2. That seems
also
reasonable.
Possible.
So I think we should still double team this one.
Okay.
Because it has a threat too as well.
Sure.
So if we don't we're going up on the threat
I'm
track.
totally fine with that. So I will deploy here for sure.
Yep, and I'll do the same.
Okay.
So
And you're just going to keep that train token, right? That same one?
Yes. So when I deploy, I can get a training token. If I got a second one, like say I took a fight one, I would have to discard the one that's on my card.
Correct.
But I want this token,
Result.
so I'm going to keep that result.
Yep. So you can spend those training tokens to equate one of those results.
It's like getting a die result.
Yep, exactly. All right. So do we want me to go first and try and maybe take out this first so you wouldn't have to deal with a villain?
Because you also have the Warlock card to help you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't want to take your dice, I don't think. It doesn't help me at all.
No, I don't think so.
I think we just want to stick with my dice pool.
No assisting.
So 4 yellows and a blue.
Okay. And 2 blue.
I'm sorry, 2 blue, yeah. You are correct.
Okay. So not a lot of energy, but we've got some X tokens, some damage tokens, and one of the results you want.
So we'll keep the power in one of the damage ones, I think.
So I think you keep
actually.
I think you keep one of the X's because to do the bottom one you need an X.
Yeah.
And then you also need the power for sure.
Yeah. So the villain result here, if I choose to re-roll that villain die, I have to take 1 damage.
Right.
Which honestly, it might just be worth it.
It's just 1 damage.
It's 1 damage. So we put a damage card.
And you actually need to roll a damage result, so you might as well just keep one of the damages.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
You know? I don't see why you...
I'm not likely to get damage on either of those, so it's kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
I think keeping 1 is fine.
All right.
You don't need to worry about it.
So, yeah, we're just going to keep these here.
Yeah, so we're going to re-roll 3 of them. Oh, okay. So we did get another science, which we needed.
Yep. So
and then
we just need...
We have the 2 villain dice there still. I do have another chance to re-roll.
Yep.
I do have to suffer the penalty again, though, because I want to re-roll those dice again. So
but you really only need 1 more result. You can use Warlock, right?
Warlock just lets me put a completed mission on an uncompleted objective. So it would just let me guarantee complete an objective. But it's a discard. It's once.
Oh. Okay.
So I think it's worth taking 1 damage
and re-rolling
to re-roll those 2.
All right.
I can't see the results. So.
Which they are damage and science.
Okay, so
these are our final results. We've re-rolled twice.
Yep, so now we can assign.
Okay, so we assign the damage here.
Mm-hmm.
We assign the power.
Yep.
And power. And then we assign the X and the power here.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to assign there, and she's going to put those 2 things to cover.
So this accomplishes this. This accomplishes this.
Yep.
As soon as that is actually accomplished,
you discard the Sentinel, right?
The Sentinel is discarded, correct.
So we're going to put this on the bottom of this deck.
Mm-hmm.
You don't actually ever reshuffle these decks, so that's why we just put them on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to the bottom, when you see the first face-up card, you know the deck's empty.
Correct.
All right, so that was your turn.
Correct.
And now we would go to step 5, which is check outcomes, but it actually says if all objectives are completed, result success, which it's not completed yet. And then it says choose the next active hero.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go now and take my turn.
Correct.
So I'm going to complete this. So I'm just going to roll my dice first. So I've got red, red, yellow, blue, blue. So I don't get all these. And all I need is a damage.
Yep. At least 1 damage result.
Oh, there's a 2 damage result.
Yep.
So that's what I needed. So there's no reason for me to re-roll. I even actually have the energy, so I don't even have to spend my token.
Mm-hmm. Have the power.
So it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I just would place this here. And this is the next step, complete objective. So I'd place these here. I don't have to do the red. That goes there.
So then we complete that part.
All right.
And then we check for success, which obviously we have.
Yep. So this is going to come off, and I'm going to put one of these here because we completed another mission.
Mm-hmm. And then because we succeeded, we resolve the success part. which is each hero trains. One hero draws a mutant.
So when we train, can we train any token?
Correct.
Oh man, I'm gonna get rid of this.
Yeah, you probably want teamwork.
Bam.
I think I'm gonna take a fight because I don't have red.
Yeah.
So I'll take a fight, and then we draw another mutant. So you can take this one. Wolfsbane. While you are the active hero, you may exhaust Wolfsbane to reroll up to 2 red dice, ignoring all villain effects.
Sounds
well,
great for me.
For you.
Okay.
Yeah. So each hero can only have 1 mutant with him at any time.
Yep.
You can, if you don't, you can exchange between players when we get to the final phase of the turn.
The regroup phase.
Mm-hmm. And you could also, if there were additionals beyond 2, you can exchange heroes with, you can just basically drop them off at school and then exchange.
All right, so we're done with the mission phase.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to go to the threat phase.
Yep.
So we would first thing we do is raise the threat level by 1.
What? No, we don't have any.
Oh, but we don't have any, so we don't have to.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Then we flip missions because we have none. So flip 1. Do the other
Africa.
continent.
This is another
that one's
relatively easy one.
Yeah.
Lots of green. This has a flip effect. So
okay. I think you
can
resolve
see that.
effect immediately when you flip.
Correct. If Mutant Thief is completed, complete 1 objective here. Let's see if we've completed Mutant Thief.
We have not.
Okay. So then that is what it is.
Okay.
Okay. Then the last thing we do is resolve a card.
Yep. So a green threat card. And it is another Sentinel.
Oh, of course it is.
Nasty.
Yeah. So that's going to attach itself here.
And the villain effect of this Sentinel is you have to discard a mutant.
That's sad. Okay. So that's there. And then we go to the regroup phase.
Yep.
So this is where we had said if you wanted to drop off someone at school, you could do that. If you wanted to exchange mutants between players, you could do that as well.
So dropping them off at school is kind of cool because then they would hang out there. And then when you draw a new mutant card, you could hold on to it and then you could swap them.
Correct. So I think, and especially given that this is now here, because if you cannot meet the villain requirement, there's no penalty.
Right, exactly. So I think I'm going to drop my mutant there too, and I could always repick these up.
Yeah, it just depends on if you think you're going to come here or if you're going to go somewhere else.
I think we're going to go there because, I mean, it's going to require 2
Yeah,
people.
probably.
So I think I'm just going to drop mine in the school.
So I'm just going to put maybe just over here.
I think you just drop them in a place in the school, right?
I guess it's... anywhere in school is fine. So yeah, we could just put them anywhere. It's not like you have to literally go pick them up. During this phase, you can take anyone that's at school and bring them with you.
Yeah, mutants, swapping mutants. Yeah, the school is like this whole area, so it technically doesn't really matter which place they're at.
All right, so that's that. End of the round. So now we deploy again.
Yep. So
the plan to just have both of us come here again?
Yeah, or there's no penalty for failing here. So
well, the failure is there's no penalty.
What's the failure on this one?
The failure: each hero discards a training token or suffers a damage.
Oh, okay. So I could go there if I fail, just lose a token, then I get it reback. You could take your turn to heal.
Yeah, I mean, I could
take a turn off. That might be not a bad idea.
The only thought is, so if you come to the danger room, you can heal 2 damage and train. So take any one of the training tokens. If you go to Cerebro, you can heal 3, and then you can peek at the top of one of the other decks and either keep that card on top or put it on the bottom.
That might not be a bad idea.
And then the last one, Xavier's Office, heal 2, then return any number of completed villain missions to the box to reduce the threat by the total number of exclamation icons on those missions. These do not count as villain missions. Villain missions specifically are like a purple border around them.
Yeah, we haven't seen one yet. This whole deck right here is full of them, and then each continent deck, I think, has 1 villain mission mixed in there.
Correct. I mean, I could just take a turn off.
I feel like this is the turn to heal if you were, because eventually you gotta heal.
Okay, that's fine. So I will deploy to Cerebro.
Okay.
You get the school effect immediately. So right off the bat, I heal 3, which I'll just do those 2. And then I get the effect of peeking at the top card of one of these decks. So let's peek at this one. And that's an easy one. So I'm going to leave that on top.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that here.
All right, and then I'm going to deploy and try to take out the Sentinel.
Mm-hmm.
And I left my villain, my mutant, in school, and at the regroup phase, I could get him back.
Correct.
So I just don't want him to get killed. I want to be able to free roll my dice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to grab my dice pool, which is 3 red, and it's 2 blue and a yellow.
Yep. Now, because we're not in the same location, we cannot assist each other.
Right, correct. And when I deploy, I can choose to change my token, but X's are kind of hard for me to get, so I'm just
and
keeping...
you need them. So.
And I need them, so I'm keeping the X.
Yep.
So we'll see what I can do here.
Roll it up.
Okay.
We got another X, which is nice.
So, I got this villain, but because I left my mutant, it doesn't really mean anything.
Yep, it's a blank.
I needed this X, so we're keeping it.
Correct.
And then I need a 2 damage and a 1 damage, which I got, so I'm keeping those.
Yep.
And then the other symbols...
You do need a science on the bottom here?
I need a science on the bottom, which is hard for me to get, so I might keep that.
Yeah.
And then the other 2, I'm just going to reroll.
Yeah.
Because a damage and
yeah.
So
Worst case, you just get a teamwork.
Yeah, I get 1 reroll, and I'm looking for a teamwork symbol, which I did not get.
Okay.
I got a damage symbol.
You can reroll one more time, I think.
I got a damage. Is that a damage 2 or that's a damage 3?
Okay.
So I could, if I get a damage 2, I could complete this, or if I get an X, I could just complete this.
Correct.
So we got an X.
All right.
All right. So we'll assign dice now. So 2, 1,
Yep.
an X.
Yep.
Okay, that's
that
done.
will complete the Sentinel.
So that gets rid of that.
Discarded.
These 3 dice will go away. Then we get an X here. We use my token for an X.
Oh, nice.
And sadly, I have 3 and a 1, so I'm missing 2. I can't complete the last row, but the first 2 rows are completed.
Yeah, which is nice.
Which means that next turn is we're gonna fail.
Correct.
So the failure part we'll do.
Yep. So we have assigned for objectives and completed them. Then we check an outcome. Because there is an objective that is uncompleted, we fail. Failure at the bottom of this says each hero discards a training token or suffers 1 damage.
So I'm losing a training token.
You don't have one. Suffer 1 damage.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. All right, I suffer damage. And then each hero, so you 2 lose 1.
Each hero at this location.
Oh, it says that. Okay.
Well, that's how all of them work.
Okay.
Yep. You're only affected by where you're at.
All right, that makes sense.
Okay. So then we go to the threat phase. We have so that the last phase, part of the mission phase is to return to the Blackbird if you were at a mission. So threat phase, we actually don't have any exclamation marks on the board, so we're not going to raise the threat. We do not need to flip a mission because we have the continent here that is already revealed. Yep. And because we're 2 players, we do not have to reveal another one. Then we just draw and resolve another green threat card, which is probably another Sentinel. Oh no, it's an event. We have an event card. So event card is just basically a card with a triggered ability. You resolve it right away. This says flip a face down mission face up. If there are 4 or more heroes, flip another. So we're going to flip the one we know that was easy, right? I think it was this one, Was it this one? Yeah. Yeah, and we know this is an easier one to do. Because we revealed it when she went there. So this card's gone. And this has a flip effect. If Avalanche is completed, reduce threat by 1, which we have not done Avalanche. Okay. All right. Then the last thing is the regroup phase. I, being over here, get returned to the Blackbird. Yep. And then we could pick up let's grab our guys from here. So there's kind of no reason not to. All right. And then we proceed to the next round. Yeah. So deployment. I think I want to deploy here. And I think you want to go by yourself. Yeah, and I just want to take a damage. Correct. Or no, you want to take a science. I want to take a science because I'll roll damage. Yeah. It's not science, power. Power. I keep seeing the DNA result and I just think it's science. Power. Yeah, energy. Power. All right. So I am going to deploy here and fight that one by myself. Yep. Okay. So we're gonna tag team solo this. And if we complete this, we would move on. Correct. So let's see. Let's see if we can get there. All right. So you want to go first? Sure. So I'm 4 yellows, 2 blues.
And do you have any abilities you can use? No, right?
I can, if I have more than 2 power, I can change one of the power to a result of my choice.
Cool.
2 or more. Oh, lordy.
All right,
Wow.
so
Okay.
you
So actually keep those teamworks.
keep the teamwork.
Because I can use those on the bottom.
Yep, and the 2 powers.
Did we get that right off the bat?
Yeah.
It's kind of not in focus.
Yeah, 2 powers.
Okay.
And then you have a 2 damage and a villain result.
Okay, but I don't
you
even need
any of them. So
yeah, we just auto 1.
Yeah, so you just one-shot this thing with 1 roll, no rerolls.
There we go.
So we would put these 2 things on here, technically.
Correct. And then check for success.
And check for success.
Which we got. So I'll return to the Blackbird, take one of those and put it there. Correct. And the success on this, reduce threat by 2. Each hero trains power, which honestly, so the way it would work is you train power. If you have more than 1, you choose which one you don't want.
Correct.
I don't want this one.
And I already have power, so
It's
that's
only
what
me.
I want. Oh.
Because I completed
yes,
this mission.
Correct, yep.
So this goes into our pile, and then you can try yours.
Go for it. All right, so 3 red, a yellow, and 2 blue.
And then can you maybe shift that green piece at the bottom? It got out of. There we go. Okay, so.
So I know I've got a 3 damage result, which is what I want.
Mm-hmm. I just want to reroll all of
This
those.
is a 1 damage result.
Yeah, but you have a high chance of having that be higher.
And then we got a villain result.
You have no villain effect.
So no villain effect.
I guess you could just
I
keep
really
those.
just need 1.
You need 1 more power.
1 more power.
Correct.
So I'm just going to re-roll them all.
Yep.
And there we go.
Yeah.
So here is another 3. So a 2 and a 1. So I pretty much got what I need. So I'm just going to place a 3 and a 2, and you can use 2 dice to fulfill 1 requirement that is in the rules.
Yep.
So a 3 and a 2 would equal a 5, and then
Technically, you roll the science. Yeah.
I rolled the power. So that would take my 3rd line here.
Yep.
So this will be now complete.
Yep.
Now that this is complete, we're going to place this token here.
And your success, reduce threat by 2. 1 hero forms a bond.
Okay.
So we're at, I don't think it can go to 0.
Nope, 1.
So we're at 1, and then gain a bond. The way you gain a bond is grab the bottom card here, which is respect, and actually that's the top one. So you draw 1 random from the bottom, then you go and search for the matching one, which actually just happens to be on the top here, and then assign it to any other hero. It just happens because we're 2, we're just each going to get it.
And what does it do?
So if we are together at the same mission, at the start of the mission phase, you may exhaust this card to train. Okay? And could you just adjust the thing in the dice tray? Because it's over here. Yep, there you go. Perfect. Okay, and that was the end of the mission phase.
Yep.
Then,
so I'm assuming the end of the round would be at the end of the last phase, end of the regroup phase.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Yep. So we go to threat. No exclamation mark, so we don't increase threat at all. Flip a mission.
Okay.
Preferences?
No.
Okay, let's go with Africa. Okay.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
That's a little bit harder. We have to do this one in order. And this symbol, it actually means you have to suffer damage as a requirement for your objective.
Yep.
That one needs lots of power.
Lots.
All right. So we flipped and resolve a threat card. So these, bad press. If there are any face-up missions with 1 or more exclamation mark icons, which there is, raise the threat by 1.
Okay.
If there are 5 or more heroes, draw another threat card.
And as you can see, we're doing really well. We are actually kicking butt, but we've already gone through 4 of these missions.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only 6 left.
Mm-hmm.
So So you could see if you start failing where it can get really challenging.
Correct. And then we do regroup. So if anybody that was at the school goes back to the Blackbird, and then we can return people to school.
Which we just don't really
which
have.
we don't really want to. However, we're now at the end of the round.
So the end of the round, there are 4 completions on here. And so we have to do what this says.
Yep. End of the round, if there are, as he said, the 4, so 2 plus the number of heroes on this card, flip it over. And we now have a mission. Magneto has revealed himself. Literally, Magneto has appeared. This is a mission card. When you are ready, complete it to advance the plot. So it needs a bunch of fighting, some teamwork, and power.
And what's the failure on this bad boy?
Each hero suffers 2 damage.
Okay.
So when you go there, and it has a villain effect of discarding a die.
Yeah, it's brutal.
In order to re-roll those villain results.
Okay.
And that one has 2 exclamation marks down and at the top corner. So that's a tough one. All right. So now we've kind of gotten to the point where we want to mitigate some of the threat that might appear on these missions here. But we also want to be working on advancing the story because this is where a lot of the threat is.
Yeah.
Okay, so new round.
Mm-hmm.
Deploying.
So now we have decisions,
now
actual
we have
decisions.
Yeah.
So, I feel like you could get close to just doing that one.
It's definitely possible.
Just because you only need 1 of each of those results.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and you roll so many of the yellows.
Correct.
I
think it's reasonable to think that I could do this, especially with Warlock, who can just say, I guarantee, like, complete an objective line.
It gets rid of a whole line?
Yeah, it's an objective. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You, when you become the active hero, you may discard Warlock to place 1 success marker on an uncompleted objective at your location. So I guess I have to do it right away.
Yeah.
I can't roll my dice and see if I fail and then do it. I have to choose right away.
What we should have done is, but we didn't know. We didn't know this was the last thing that happened.
Correct.
So what we should have done is switched our guys.
Correct.
And then I could have used Warlock to
Correct.
knock this out.
Yes, correct.
So
yeah.
The worst thing that happens if we don't do this is we just suffer 2 threat.
2 damage.
No, I'm saying if we just don't complete, if we just
don't
don't
assign
assign
we do
a
nothing.
guy.
Yes,
if we just don't assign a guy here, all that happens is
correct.
We get, and we're at 2.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go there and we fail, we suffer damage.
Correct.
Whereas if we double team this, we can guarantee knock it out.
For sure we could, yeah.
We could also guarantee knock this out if we double team this.
I think that's a fair assumption.
So I almost think we just go double team this. That only increases our threat by 1.
Sure, I'm good with that.
So let's do it. Let's do a team up here.
Okay. So deploying over here, and you can choose to keep your science, or you.
Yeah. So for
probably just keep the science, unless you want to just try and get another fighting one because there's 3 different fight icons.
Yeah, I'm thinking about swapping this for a fight icon. So I will get a fight, and then I have to discard the science.
Mm-hmm. Power. Yep.
Yep. Because actually, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
And now because we're at the same location, we could technically use our respect and at the start of the mission phase exhaust this to train, in which case you could get any token.
Yeah.
Which maybe I do that and try and get a teamwork one and swap it out.
Yeah, because you don't need that.
Because we need 2 teamworks.
Teamworks
so that's a little harder to get.
Teamworks will be the hardest thing for us to do.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's fair. So I'll exhaust that and do that. I would have to declare this when I become the active player.
So I guess the thing is, actually, now that I think about it, if I'm going to work on the bottom line and you're going to work, because we can't share.
Correct.
So if I'm going to work on the bottom line, I probably should just actually leave
the power. That's fair.
Because I can just get 2 fists.
And
then you work on the top one and you get those. So I say you just go first and work on the top one.
Okay. I think that's fine. So 4 yellows and 2 blues.
Yep.
I don't really want your dice. I don't want the red for any reason.
Well, you need a fist.
Oh, I do want the red for a reason. So then we can swap.
I think we swap.
Well, So technically, the way it works, actually, I'm asking for
Yes.
the assist,
So I
so
just
I
give you
take
mine.
this card.
Yep, that's how it works.
And then, so it's 3 yellows, 2 blues, and 1 red. And then I have his ability that I can use if I choose to use. Oh, or I just roll all of the freaking right off the bat.
Yeah, so yeah, you've got everything you need.
I got everything I need right away.
Actually, you might even be able to complete both what you rolled here. Your roll is insane.
Okay.
So you could do this.
Yep.
You could do this.
Yep.
This is a 2.
Oh my gosh, I could do both
This
of
is
them.
a 2. This is a this. This is a 2. All you need is a 2.
A 2 result on that.
And what does Gambit's ability say?
You may spend one of your results to gain a training token of that type.
Okay.
Which is not helpful.
No.
But you could just re-roll that twice and see if we get 2 power.
2 power.
All right. So I just one-shot it.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay.
That was really hard to do, but you know, sometimes you get lucky with dice.
Yeah, and so that means I'm just going to waste my turn.
But who knew?
Yeah, so technically what we would do is we'd remove these. We would put these things on here because we completed it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
check for success.
Put San Marco in play.
Yep, so that's another mission. San Marco. Another mission for us to do. The villain effect over here is suffering 2 damage, and then it has 2 threat.
So then, and part of the rules, right, is after you get the check for success, completed check outcomes if objectives, then we return to the Blackbird.
Correct. You do not get to have a free attempt at that new.
Yeah, so I don't get to take a turn, right?
Correct. It just happened that
That seems awkward.
Rolled amazing.
Yeah, it does seem a little awkward that I just lose my turn.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And I wonder if we're doing that right, but where is... I guess we can double check. Check outcomes. Yeah, it just says success. If the mission is completed, the active hero resolves the rewards listed in the success outcome. Then the active hero adds the mission to the hero's completed missions pile and returns all success on that mission to the supply. All hero markers at that mission are placed on the Blackbird. But I never took a turn. I never took a deploy turn.
You did take a deploy turn. You deployed there.
Oh,
you just never had a chance to go with the mission because I finished it before you had a chance.
Yeah, but it's weird that it would not say, like, does that mean that person's turn is done? I think so.
There's nothing else for you to do. It just so happens that I one-shot it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, that is correct.
What's weird is on the attempting missions thing on step 5, it says check outcomes. If all objectives are completed, resolve success. Otherwise, choose next active hero if all heroes at the mission have been active, resolve failure.
Right. So it says check for success.
Mm-hmm.
If you succeeded, resolve success.
Yep.
If you did not succeed,
Check
then the next hero goes.
Yep.
Once all heroes have gone,
yeah, so I think
check
I'm just
you just skip a turn. It is just is what it is.
Well, and so what stinks is I guess we're not incentivized to team up because we got a new mission, which is the same threat level which we defeated, but now we left a 3rd threat level out there. We're going to go up 3.
Correct. I mean, the nice part is getting some of your team up cards active, although I happen to not need it.
Yeah, but that almost seems like we probably played that wrong. We should have just split up because we had 2 missions.
Well, we didn't know that I was going to one-shot that. The odds were not good of me being able to
but the odds were good
myself.
of someone completing this by themselves. Especially
only me.
Yeah.
I don't think you could have completed that other one by yourself.
No, but I might be able to complete a line on this one and then just suffer the 1 penalty, which was the damage. And then the next turn I could have come here healed. So I think that was the best. Just food for thought.
Yeah.
Because I just realized, wow, we defeated this. Now, defeated this lets us advance the plot.
Correct.
Which is good. But we want to, when we get to the showdown and we've revealed it, all these cards are going to go away, which means you can no longer heal.
Correct.
So you want to be fully healed when you go into the showdown.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so we go to the threat phase, which we have to increase it by 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. We went from 2 to 5 real quick.
Then flip a mission, which we don't have to do because we're 2 players and we've got one already here.
And we don't want more.
No, we don't. And then draw and resolve a threat card. So a green one of these, and it's another event. Henchman, each hero suffers a damage. If there are 3 or more heroes, draw another card. Damage. Then regroup. So this is where I would return this assist card to you.
Yep.
And then again, you can ready any of these cards that you used and exchange or return any allies that you acquired to school.
Okay.
New phase.
Yep.
So deployment. I think I can probably just come here.
Yeah, I think so.
And whack this.
Yep. And I'm going to start working one line in here and do that strategy again. That way I don't waste a turn.
Okay. That's fine. So we'll do mine first.
Yeah, when I deploy, I think I'm going to just keep my power because I need power and it's hard for me to roll power.
Yep.
So you're going to go first.
I'm going first. Now the question is, I have to choose if I want to just use Warlock right off the bat, which is complete an uncompleted objective.
That seems good.
It does.
But you could also save it for this or the next one of these. That's
right,
the other thing.
That's the thing. And this isn't too hard for me to complete. So I
mean,
think...
four of these results is pretty rough.
Not when you were rolling 4 yellows.
Well, I mean, just think. You're rolling a total of 6 dice, right? Mm-hmm. So you still would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need to hit 5 out of 6 results on 6 dice. It's possible.
I think it's possible.
Okay. So 4 yellows, 2 blues.
Yep. Roll it up.
Yep.
Shuffle all those into the middle so we can see them.
Yeah, so basically there are 4 power results right off the bat.
Oh, okay. There you go.
There's 4 power results.
Okay.
Oh, I did forget you had an X token.
Right, which I don't. I'm just gonna spend. I'm not even gonna worry about re-rolling those. I guess I could. It doesn't hurt because I don't have a villain.
You might as well re-roll.
Might as well re-roll. See what we get.
You got a damage and a villain.
Okay, we don't want those, so re-roll
again. Re-roll one more time.
Nope.
And just start.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna spend my teamwork token here.
We have 2 tokens here.
Yep.
And then two dice here.
Yep, and then I have to take one damage in order to accomplish that one.
And that card's complete.
And then that is completed. And I had to do it in order, but because I was able to accomplish all 3, it was fine.
We actually had all the results.
Correct. If I couldn't have accomplished the first row, as an example, I couldn't move on to the second one. But because I was able to do all 3,
what we needed to do was place the die here, then place the dice here, then place it. We just...
But
since we had it all mathematically in our head.
Yep. So success, reduce threat by 3.
Okay.
Nice. And put that in our pile. And I'm done. So you can try out your mission.
All right, so mine's going to be kind of tough here. And I'm going to get my 3 red, a blue, and a yellow. Actually, 2 blue.
Roll it up.
So let's put these on the camera here. All right, so not the best. So I definitely know I need to keep this damage result.
You could complete that middle row as is.
I could complete the middle row without doing anything. So I think that's a good.
I think that's a good starting point.
I think that's a great starting point. So
I don't think it's worth you taking 2 damage to roll 1 die.
I don't think so either, but I do have this Wolfsbane chick that says, when you are the active hero, you may exhaust Wolfsbane to reroll up to 2 red dice, ignoring any effects.
Any villain effects. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I can exhaust her and reroll the villain and the 1 damage result.
Okay. For free. That doesn't count towards your reroll.
Does that count as my 2 rerolls? And I've got
a 4.
I got a 3 and a 1.
Perfect. So you could actually accomplish the bottom 2. You'd have to take 2 damage in the process, but then you could just come and heal.
But I also have 2 rerolls left that I have not used because this reroll was from this card, which is so I could also reroll here and try to get
and see what you get.
And try to get a 3.
But you won't be able to get a science.
I have one.
Oh, fair enough. All right, I forgot about that token. Yep.
So first reroll.
Oh, there you go.
What do I got?
3 and a 2.
A 3 and a 2. So bam, there's a 3.
Okay.
So all I would have left is a 2.
I mean, you could re-roll that blue one more time to see if you get the science and not have to spend the token.
That's fair. I get one more reroll. Oh, it's an X.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to go to spending dice. So we're going to spend the 3, and spend my training token. And then we're going to spend 2, spend this, and replace these with 2 markers, which was pretty good.
Yep.
And then we have to go to the check outcomes. So the failure on here is each hero suffers 1 damage. So I'm going to suffer 1.
Yep.
And I failed here, which is fine. And then I return to the Blackbird.
Yep. And if you could adjust thing, because catching the perfect. There we go. Trying to filter out a different color because normally we filter out red, but we kind of need red. So we are swapping in a little bit of green in there.
Yep.
Okay. So we go to the threat phase now. Raise threat by 2.
Yep.
1, 2. Then we flip another mission card.
Yep.
Let's
Europe.
Let's go Europe. So that one needs lots of teamwork, which is a little harder for us. Then draw and resolve a green threat card. Sentinel. So this one says target the mission that has the most objectives. If there's a tie, I think we can choose.
Well, this one has 3, so it's going to go on that one.
Yeah, exactly.
No choice.
Yep. So that's going to come here. This did have a flip ability. Sinking ship. If sinking ship is completed, complete 1 objective here. Did we complete sinking ship? We did not.
Bad times.
Yep. So that's going to attach here. And regroup phase.
So ready my card?
Correct. Okay, new round. So you probably just need to go and heal.
I'm thinking about just going to heal this turn.
Yeah.
I can recover 3, and then I can look at a card. Or I could recover 2 and do other things. What are the other recover 2 options?
We can't get this bonus because we haven't got any villains.
And what is this one?
Train, which is irrelevant.
That's irrelevant. So I'm just going to recover 3.
I think so too.
So I think I'm going to deploy here.
Yep.
Deploying key. When I deploy, I get a token, and I'll take
power.
There is nothing with power at the moment, so I'm just going to take fight.
I mean, yeah, just one.
But I'm not going to. This might be gone by the time I get. And when I deploy there, I can always change. So.
All right, and then
recover 3.
Correct. Now here's the thing. I could try to come here. However, the villainy trigger here is suffering a damage, and if I fail, I suffer 2 damage.
Oh, so
I'm already at 2 damage here, so I don't think I can come here because I'll pretty much automatically get 2
The failure
damage.
here is just suffer a damage.
Just suffer 1.
But the villain effect, you won't be able to
is
reroll.
Suffering 2.
So
right.
But you only need.
But I need power, which I don't have. Power is actually kind of hard for me to do.
Yeah.
And I'd have to suffer 2 damage in order to even accomplish it.
Right, that's tough.
So I might not have a choice but to heal up.
And then we just take a bunch of
threat.
threat.
And we just have to take a bunch of threat.
Yeah. There are ways to lower threat.
Yeah, but I mean, it's that or I get knocked out, which is also going to increase threat.
Yep.
So I think I have to just deploy here, which is train 2. I'm sorry, heal 2, then train.
Yep.
But honestly, I think I just want that teamwork with so many teamwork icons on
and I'll go work on this thing.
Yeah, agreed. So that's that turn. We're not going to do any missions, so we're going to skip the mission phase and go straight into threat. So we're going to increase the threat by 4.
That's rough.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 8. Then we would have to flip a mission, but we don't because we've got one.
And then a yellow threat card.
And a yellow threat card, which is an event. Vicious Scheme. Replace a story mission with the top card of the villain deck. No! We're going to lose your successes.
Oh, get wrecked.
Yep.
All right, so now we're going to have a villain mission.
Yeah, so anytime you replace over an existing mission, you lose any... No, let's keep that there.
It stays?
It stays there.
And then it just goes on top? Okay.
But you lose any of the success results that you've already banked on that card.
That was rough.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So that's gone.
Okay.
Wow. That was really horrible. That was the worst one we probably could have gotten.
Yeah, I can't imagine much worse.
All right.
I was hoping just for a Sentinel, because
Right.
then it would have been made, kill a Sentinel, last line, done.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then regroup. So we each return to the Blackbird.
Yep.
Yeah. New phase.
Well, now we know we just got to get rid of this and just let this thing hang out.
Yeah, probably, because we get rid of the 2 to just have 2
So this,
again.
you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 results.
Yep.
So one person cannot do this.
No.
No one has 8 dice.
Correct. Yeah, and as the way that he's saying that, each result needs to have its own die or a combination of dice. You can't take a 3 fight result and split it between 2 of these icons.
Exactly. So you would have to use a fight and either a token or dice.
Correct.
So like if she went here by herself, she would have to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 results.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And she only has 6 dice.
Plus 1.
So 7 results.
Yeah.
Even if she rolled perfect on all of her dice, she could not complete this by herself.
Correct.
I don't think we can afford to leave 2 threat missions in play.
Yes, especially with doubles.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we both have to just come here.
I think so.
And when you deploy, if you want, you probably might want to take a team. Oh, you can't take a teamwork.
I never had a chance.
Yeah.
All I can take is power, which
You might want to take... No, you know what? Because that's the only result down there. I can probably just get that die result, no problem.
Or we might need your die results for all the teamworks.
Right, but I mean, the odds of me ending up with a 1 power are really good. And that's the only result we need done.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't need any... I'm thinking that I'm going to work on this one for sure.
So I don't think you change.
Yeah, just leave it. That's fine.
So it's fine.
All right.
All right. Why don't you go first so we can see how much you can accomplish?
Yeah, I'm going to try to go at this middle objective.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what you can get.
So my 3 reds, my yellow, and 2 blue.
Yep.
And that's all she got.
Mm-hmm. Roll it up. All right,
Okay.
so the villain is suffer damage in order to reroll it.
Right. All right, so results I want to keep. I want to keep a red 2 damage. Or do I even care? Because I'm just going to use my token. I just better off re-rolling that die.
Yeah, probably. You might want to keep the 1.
Because the token won't do me anything.
Yeah, you might want to keep 1 of those damage results to go up here.
Yeah, I could.
And then just
I could
re-roll the
keep the
rest?
1. Yeah.
And just re-roll everything else.
Reroll
I don't know
it.
if you want to
So
suffer
first thing I'm
damage.
going to do though is I'm going to use Wolfsbane, and I can re-roll 2 red dice without suffering any villain
Do it.
effects.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's first thing.
Yep.
Ooh, got another villain effect.
Okay.
And a damage. So then this doesn't help me.
Nope.
So then I can re-roll.
Correct. I don't think it's worth re-rolling that 1 yet.
I'm not going to re-roll this one yet.
Correct.
So
re-roll all
1
those.
re-roll.
Correct.
All right, got an X, which is
Okay.
kind of what I needed.
Yeah.
So
So pull out the X.
pull out the X.
You don't have any more villain results, so I still don't think it's worth resolving that extra.
Yeah, yeah. It might be. It's only 1 damage.
Yeah, but it's a red die, so your odds of hitting something else that you need are really low.
Yeah, so the red die only has, it's a 1 in 6 chance of
On the
getting
teamwork,
this
right.
teamwork. All right, so I'm not going to re-roll it. Oh, we got it. Double X.
Oh, snap.
On a red
Wow.
All right, so yeah,
so lucky.
2X.
Yeah.
And the one that we didn't re-roll.
All right.
And then 2 villain results so left
that you're
alone.
not going to use. Yep.
So we're gonna get we're gonna get rid of the Sentinel and we're gonna get a line through the middle.
Correct.
And then I return.
Okay.
Hasta la vista.
Perfect. Technically, you don't return until we're done.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes,
okay.
That's fine. All right, so my turn. So roll me up, and I don't want to be assisted by your cards because they don't help me at all.
Nope. 4, blue, blue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Yep. That is it. Some of those results that we want, so.
All right, so we definitely want these 2. These are power.
We
want one.
So just the yellow one.
Just the yellow one, because the blue we want to reroll. But I see some X's, which that's what we really want.
Oh, so then we're just done.
So we're just done. You don't even need to reroll. You don't need to spend any tokens.
Okay.
So yeah, so here's your 2 X's.
Yep.
You have to suffer 2 damage.
Yep.
And here's that.
All right.
So that card's done.
Correct. Pull this off. We go
Return.
back to the Blackbird. Our success, reduce threat by 2.
Okay.
So down to 6. And then 1 hero forms a bond. And I think you can have more than 1.
Really?
So double check that.
All right. Forming bonds.
Because I remember saying, like, if you had a broken bond, you could mend it. Bonds come in pairs. When a hero gains a bond, they draw a bond from the bottom of the deck and search for the other one with the same name. The hero with the other card of the same name is the bonded hero. Finally, the hero who gains the bond shuffles the bond deck. Each hero can have up to 2 bond cards at a time.
All right, so we get another one.
So bottom of this one is love. All right, so this one says, while you're active, you may exhaust this card to add 1 die of any available color into your dice pool. That's interesting. So love for you.
All right.
Shuffle up.
We're getting abilities here.
Yeah. Oops.
Okay.
Okay. So threat phase.
Yep, so the first thing, threat goes up by 2, sadly.
Yep. Back to 8.
And then we have to reveal, let's do South America.
Sure.
Oh, Avalanche, a villain.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So that's one of the villain missions that allows us to visit Xavier's office and reduce threat. He's obviously a little bit tough.
So is this one.
Correct. Yep. And then draw a yellow card.
Yep.
And it's a Sentinel. It says discard. Oh, it's targeting the fewest objectives. So they're both free, so we could choose.
I say we probably just put it here and then try to take this card out.
Okay.
Or we it's tough. I don't know what to do.
I feel like we try to take this out.
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like together we try to take that out.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard, but I think it's possible.
Okay.
Okay, then regroup. So I think we're just good as is. Everything's ready.
So just deploy.
Deploy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we just try to nix this.
So I guess I should try to go at one of those high damage lines that require a power. So when I deploy, I should take a power.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Plus, when I come here, I could just, when I become active, when I can just guarantee take one of these out.
If you can take out the bottom line or even the top line. Oh, no, it doesn't. I don't think it doesn't work for him,
I don't think. Yeah. It's specific to the mission.
That's why I was thinking we should go at this one, because we could have got rid of one that took damage. But that's all right.
Mm. Okay. So I think you go first.
So we're going to use that, right?
Well, but it's when I become active.
When you have
So I think we let you go first
Yes.
and then make a judgment call on whether or not I want to blow this up.
So I'm going to go first,
Yep.
and I'm going to roll at that. I'm going to try that middle objective.
So first, so I can use respect to exhaust this to train at the start of the mission.
There you go.
I think I want the teamwork, though, but you can do the same thing. So if you want teamwork instead of
power,
you can do the same thing because we're in the same location. And love, while you're the active hero, you may exhaust this card to add 1 die of any available color to your dice pool.
I feel like teamwork's shouldn't be that hard for me to get. I have 2 teamwork dice. Yeah, this respect doesn't really help me a lot because he already at the start of your mission, you may exhaust him to train, and he trains every time he deploys.
Right, but you don't train teamwork specifically. So if you wanted to try and get a guaranteed teamwork result, that's
I just think I only have 1 yellow die, so
Yep.
this is my desired result.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
then I'm gonna go here.
All right.
What does love do?
Add a die pool, a die from your available color pool into your.
Ah.
So you could, because you would in theory have all 3 colors. You could
So
add
I'm gonna add another blue.
Yep.
So I exhaust this.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm rolling 7 dice now. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Another one of the perks of being together is we get to use these.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah. So I've got power results. I really don't care about what's. Oh,
That's power.
I've got lots of power.
Yeah.
Not a lot of damage and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I needed the X results. That's a harder one for me to get,
Yep.
so I'll hold on to that.
Would you? Yeah, I guess.
And then nothing else. I could keep a 2 damage result. That's okay.
Yeah. The villain effect here is suffer 2 damage and discard a training token or suffer 2 damage.
All right.
So I don't think it's worth dealing with all of that to reroll that 1.
This, if I kept these, this would guarantee that middle row.
Correct.
But I could
So-
also use my Wolfsbane to
Yeah.
re-roll the 2 red dice.
Yeah.
As that's what her ability is.
Yep.
When active hero exhausts Wolfsbane, we roll 2 red dice, ignoring all villain effects. So
Yep.
we're gonna do that.
Correct.
These dice are just leaving off to the side for now. All right, so we got 2 damage.
Another 2, which is nice.
So we'll keep the 2 damage. And then now I have 2 rerolls, so I'm just going to use the 2 basic rerolls to reroll the remainder dice. So an
Another
X
X.
is good.
Potentially, yeah.
And then I don't need power for anything, really.
No, you don't.
So let's reroll. Let's reroll. Damage. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see what we got.
Let's see.
So I could use a 2, an X, and an X to get rid of the Sentinel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have...
Then you could do the top row.
I could do the top row, which would be 2 and 3, and then a damage to get rid of the top row.
Mm-hmm.
Or the other options are... I think I could do 2 dice here.
Yeah.
And then I could do my token and X. But no, yeah, I can only do one thing.
Yep. Well, you could do this middle one.
Oh, I could do the middle
You have
one.
3 power left,
Yeah.
and you could take a damage.
Yeah, that's the one.
I think
Okay.
that's what you do.
All right, so we're gonna get rid of the bottom one, and I take a damage.
Correct. Bottom one and the top one.
Yeah, and leaving that really hard for you to get 2.
Yes, however, so I now become the active player, and I could choose to just blow him up.
Ah.
So I think that's
worth
it. And I'm just going to do this middle one.
Yep.
So he gets discarded. And then I will roll my dice, and I have a teamwork token
nice.
available.
All right.
So I just need another teamwork and 2 damage out of my dice. You know what? Before you roll that, let's use love to add another color.
Oh, yeah.
I can only use ones that are available to me. So let's, you know what? Why don't we swap? Well, not swap. I'll ask for your assistance and then add a red.
Well, that's smart. So your die pool is going to be different.
My die pool is going to be 3 yellows,
3 yellow, a blue,
2 blues, and 2 reds.
Yep. That makes sense.
You have 1 too many blues.
Yep.
Yep. There you go. Perfect. So let's try that out. Okay. Well, we just got all of the things.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
needed 2x and 2 damage, and you've got
we've
lots
got.
of damage and lots of X's.
Yep. So that's
completed.
fine. So we've completed this Sentinel
And the card.
and the card. Oops. which our success for this is one hero forms a bond. So we would...
I'm going to form a bond and try and get rid of the one that's worthless.
Respects.
At start of the mission phase, exhaust a train.
Okay. So we'll both get rid of that one.
Yep.
And you are going to get Discipline.
Discipline. When you are the active hero, you may exhaust this card and spend a power result to satisfy any one requirement.
Oh, that's
That's
good for
awesome.
me. Yeah.
It's good for both of us.
Yeah.
All right, way better.
Okay. Here. Okie dokie. So threat phase, we go up just by 2.
Yep.
Up to 10. And then
Flip.
reveal a new map location.
Africa?
Where are we light? About
There's
the same.
3.
Okay, so let's
3.
do Africa. Ooh, Pyro.
Okay.
That was probably a poor choice. Okay, so resolve a threat card, which is a Sentinel. That is going to target the mission with the most threat icons, which is that one.
Okay. I guess we know what we're doing next turn.
I did notice too, this one actually has that, so we have to do that in order. I don't know that I noticed that before. Regroup. So ready. And
so the failure
give
here
this
is suffer
to-
2 damage.
yeah.
I think we're going to lose.
We might.
I think we don't have the strategy figured out yet because one of the problems I'm noticing is that you almost have to ignore those and complete these to get through the game. Because every turn where we're completing these, this is still here and taking up our threat.
True. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the second game that we've played.
Yeah, we're learning.
We're learning a little bit of the strategy overall as well with you guys. So if you have an idea of a strategy that might work that you'd like to see us try out, please feel free to leave a comment below. But yeah, this is in theory the way that the game plays out. We just are falling behind for sure. So that said, we're at deploy phase.
All right, so we're just both deploying here, obviously.
Are we? So, especially because it takes... Yeah, we are.
The only other option is...
No, we are. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yes,
the only
we are.
option is one person goes here.
Right, but then it only reduces by 1. And you can do it as many times as you want. So I'd rather wait until we can defeat Sauron and then hit 2 cards at once.
I'm thinking we have to get rid of this because this is...
3 threat.
Yeah, I mean, the other option is we split up. One person goes here, just worries about the Sentinel. Suffers the damage. So I come here, I suffer the damage. Then I can next turn heal. One person goes here and tries to take that one out.
I won't be able to take this out, I don't think. This is a hard one to try and take out by yourself. Because you need, again, 7 results. So you have to hit pretty perfectly.
You have to have perfect and have a training token.
Yes.
So
this is very hard to do.
Yeah, especially with a 4.
With a 4 fight, that is a very hard one to do by yourself. So I think... does each hero have to suffer damage?
Yeah, that's what you said. It says each hero discard a...
Success from this mission or suffer 2 damage.
Yeah,
Okay.
so if you can't even partially work on this.
Correct.
The only thing you could do is get rid of the Sentinel, which would reduce our threat by 1.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking, like, one person do this, the other person do that. But then we can't use any of our bond ship stuff.
Correct. And this increase, when you fail this, it increases threat by 1 and you suffer a damage. So neither of those are good choices.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We might have to team up somewhere, but if we team up here, if we let this thing go, it's going up to 3. We're into red already.
Yep.
So
we might.
And we haven't even gotten to a showdown yet.
Correct. Yeah, which we might that's the other thing. As soon as we defeat that, it might be showdown time.
No,
I don't know.
because we have a story mission underneath
Oh,
this.
that's right.
So like we are
Yeah, we're behind.
We're way behind.
All right, well, I guess
that's why I'm thinking we almost just have to go at this thing, but then
if we reveal it, if we kill that, then there's still a 2 threat underneath it, and we're still going up by 3.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. We're kind of. I wonder.
We're kind of at a rock and a hard place.
I
right
wonder.
now.
Yeah, I wonder what we can.
I don't know if maybe having only two heroes is a
my
detriment?
only thought is that we try to YOLO and remove the Sentinel, remove this. It only goes up by 2, and then the following turn, someone can come here and heal and remove 2.
Right.
I don't know.
I cannot do this one by myself, and I don't know that.
I'm Gambit. I can do anything. The problem with going here and trying to team up on this is that if we don't complete it, we lose the progress we made.
Right.
And there's damage that requires us to complete this.
Correct.
So I think someone coming here and just completing just this part, just getting rid of the Sentinel would be advantageous. Obviously, you would suffer 2 damage for coming there.
Yeah.
But getting rid of the Sentinel would reduce the threat by 1. This we could work. Do you, if you fail, what happens?
If you fail, you increase threat by 1, and each hero suffers a damage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of rock in a hard place for sure. So I guess I think
I should go here.
Sure, let's try it. You go there. I'll go there.
See what happens.
And see what happens.
We might just be losing bad.
Yep. So I guess I'll go first.
And we could be doing something wrong, but I don't think so.
I don't think we are doing anything wrong with the rules.
Yeah.
We might be doing something wrong with our general strategy.
I don't know.
And it's also possible that only having 2 heroes is a detriment.
Yeah.
That is a possibility.
Yeah,
because you just have less activations and less people to do.
Yeah, with more heroes, these get much easier, but you have to resolve more missions.
Correct.
So I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know which is like where that sweet spot is in
Yeah.
there. So yeah, I honestly don't know the answer to that, but
We'll find
who
out.
knows? We'll experiment. So I guess I'll go first over there.
Yeah. So.
And it's just my regular dice. So
Yep.
4 yellows and 2 blues.
That 3 fight. Can you do it? You can't train. No.
Nope, I cannot. So we'll see what happens. Oh, we got some 2s.
Oh, and you got you got it.
Okay.
So you got the 4. Oh no, you need an energy. So you got.
So pull them all out.
Yeah, I'm pulling them all out.
Adjust the. Okay.
So you need 3. You need 3 to complete this. So here's 2, 3.
Uh-huh.
So we'll save that.
Yep.
And then you have an X.
Yep.
Which
I'd rather
you
keep
were at the
that
blue
there.
one.
Yep.
And then you have these left.
Yep.
If
Which
you
I'm
re-roll
not
that,
doing that.
you raise the threat by 1. So
Yeah, not doing that.
one's not getting re-rolled.
Plus whatever is under this one too. There's 2 villain abilities.
So you have this that you need to get the other resource. Now the other option is
but here's
you have
thing.
the token, so you could re-roll
well,
this.
but the thing is, if I complete this one, which is super easy for me to complete, I can then just remove it to this rather than take it. Because this is an either or. When I fail, I can either discard a success from this mission or suffer 2 damage.
Okay.
So I think we keep that blue X.
Okay.
And I have this other teamwork result and just roll those 2 and hope for a science or power. Which we got.
We actually got both things.
Okay.
So
if we
no, you didn't.
We're good.
No, we definitely need to do this.
Oh, I need a second science.
You need a second
Okay, so
science.
reroll.
Nope.
Didn't get it. Okay.
Yep.
So then we will just work on the sentinel.
Yeah, so it's 3 damage results,
Mm-hmm.
1 power,
Yep.
and 1
Teamwork.
teamwork.
Yep.
So it gets rid of the sentinel.
Yep.
This is gonna go there.
So I fail, and because I cannot discard a
Suffer 2
successful
damage.
token, I have to take 2 damage.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been fine if you could have rolled
Correct.
a little better and
Yep. We just needed another science, and that was very likely on yellow, but
all right, now it's
Couldn't
up
get
to
there.
me.
Yep.
So I gotta roll like a god here. It's gonna be tough. I have to roll perfect. And but I deploy, I was obviously getting a token, and I'm getting the power token.
Yep.
I don't care about damage.
Yep.
All right. So
Roll it up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not super great. So we could definitely use this.
Yeah, your villain result is each hero suffers 1 damage.
Did I get any 3s? I wish I got a 3.
Well, you can re-roll first with Wolfsbane.
Yeah,
right?
no, I'm just trying to figure out. This was that. So I need X's, which is very hard for me to get. I need 3 of them.
Yeah, you'll get them on the blues. So
yeah. So I've got this.
I think you just get your freebie re-roll of 2 red dice.
Well, I'm gonna wait on those because I might just. There's no penalty to rolling the red dice. The penalty is on the blue die, and he cannot re-roll blue dice. It's only red.
I understand, but that's why I think.
So this is suffer a damage.
Right, but that's where I think if you use your freebie re-roll now.
No, I'm thinking I re-roll all of these dice at one time.
Oh.
That way, if a villain result pops up on red, I can use the re-roll dice to re-roll the villain results on the re-roll.
All but the one.
All but the one. This one I can
re-roll all but the one right now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I was actually going to re-roll this as well.
And just take a damage?
And just take 1 damage.
You don't want to wait and see if you can get more of those helmets?
No, I'm going to just re-roll everything.
Okay.
Because the only result... Well, no, I can keep 2 reds. Well, so tough. To get to a...
I think you re-roll. You either re-roll all of them or you just don't re-roll the helmet and try and see if you're getting...
I'm thinking because I need 4. So I really want 3s. Yeah. So in order to complete... What happens when I fail?
Raise the threat by 1 and take a damage.
So in order to... There are 1, 2, 3, 4... There are 7 results.
Mm-hmm.
One of results requires 2 dice to complete.
Correct.
So it's... And I only have 7 results, so I cannot complete that. Not possible. Because this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 results, and I only can have a maximum of 7 results. Because I have 6 dice plus a token. Okay. So it's actually not possible.
Oh yeah, you do have 6 dice. I was thinking
it's not possible to complete the card.
Okay.
The best I could do is complete 2 lines of the card, and I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, I think I keep the reds. Because 2 results are good. 2 fight results are good. I can be used on either thing. I re-roll. I just re-roll these and don't re-roll the blue.
Yeah. Okay.
And I get 2 re-rolls. And I'm just looking for an X. Yeah. There's my X. Now this was actually a 3 result, so I could just.
So that technically does the. Yeah, that does that middle row.
So this would do that middle row for me.
Yeah. If you...
And then this would complete this. So then I could actually just do
No, you need another...
I know. So then I could... I'm just saying I'm putting it here. And then I could re-roll... I have 1 more re-roll. I can re-roll these 3 dice. And just try to get an X to complete that second line.
Okay.
I still needed an X for either one. Which I got.
Okay.
So I got an X. And I got this. So I actually don't need to use it. I just roll.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter. But I completed 2 lines. It was the best I could do. There was no way to get 3.
Yep. So we increase the threat by 1 and you take a damage.
Yep.
Okay. And both here. So threat is 3.
Yep, so 14.
Yep.
And we've lost this game.
Yep. We don't need to flip another card. We do need to draw one of these, which is another Sentinel. Put this on the most damage requirements. So this is going on Sauron. Fantastic. That's a double. Then regroup.
Yeah, and we can actually just play out the next turn and we're dead, no matter what.
Correct.
So just so people can see. So we'll go to the regroup is just ready your cards.
Correct.
That's all.
Yep.
Then deploy.
Yeah.
So
the best we could do
is one person can deploy there, get rid of that, and then.
Well, yeah. So the best that we could do is probably take these out to get rid of the double at least.
Yeah, I think you go here.
Here's the thing. So if I take this out, and you manage to take this out, we guarantee still have 2 and lose.
Yeah, we've lost no matter what.
Correct.
There's no way to reduce threat this turn for us.
Correct.
So, yeah, I could go here. We'll just play it out so people see why we're gonna lose.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go here.
Okay.
You're gonna go here.
Yep.
You
can train if you
I
want.
could train, and no, I'm good.
Yep.
I've got a thing, so I'm just gonna roll my dice. And I didn't get any X's, which is what I need.
You need 4 power though, so.
Yep. So let's pull out.
What? Your 2 2s?
Yep, my 2 2s. I got my 4 power.
And then you just reroll those for X's.
Yeah, I'm gonna reroll with this.
You'll take 1.
I'm gonna reroll Wolfbane first, the 2 reds. Maybe I get an X of the red. It's not. It's possible.
Yep, which you did. Okay.
Which I did not.
But you got another helmet, so you can spend the 1 damage to reroll all of those results.
Might as well.
Yeah.
And hope to get an X, which we got.
You got 1.
We got 2 X's. So, all right. So we got my X result. We've got the token for this, and then we've got
4 damage.
4 damage here.
Yep.
So that'll complete that.
Yep. So you get to form a bond.
Joy.
As a success.
I've already got 2. So, and they're both fine.
Yeah. Okay, and can you roll for me and just...
Yep, so... Sorry, this just keeps moving. And then roll for you. So 4 yellow, 2 blue. That was pretty bad. You need an X result, so we'll keep 1.
Don't re-roll the helmet.
Yep, just re-roll everything else.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's the science that we absolutely needed.
Yep, and the X.
Okay.
I leaves you with 2 dice.
So pull that out.
So we can... You could re-roll 1 more time and maybe get that middle line. So if you get an X here.
Okay. I don't even...
Nope.
I have 3, so we're
Oh, you have an X. Okay.
Yep. So we can spend a science.
Yep. A power. Power, X, and X. Gets rid of this.
Yep.
And then you can spend your token.
Yep.
And the X here.
To complete that row, but essentially just not take damage instead.
Right.
And
yeah, you put
means I don't die.
Yeah, you put a counter on here.
Yep.
And then failure is to remove this or take damage,
Yep.
which we'll just remove this.
Yep.
And then you return.
Yep. Then we go to threat, which there's
still 2.
1, 2, and we've lost.
Yeah. So I think the problem that I'm seeing is that once you've revealed this mission, the story mission, you have to ignore those. You just have to assume that those are going to tick up 1 threat every turn. It's just a race. Because these, every time you defeat one, there's still just going to be another threat, 2 threat there every time.
Well, if you got the villain.
No, it doesn't matter. The story threat replaced. We had another story threat here that we beat, which was 2 threat. Right. When we defeated this story threat, that turn, the very same turn, a new one replaced it.
Correct.
It's still being 2 threat.
Correct.
So you never get a break from these story threats, which are doing 2 every turn.
Correct.
So you're always going up 2 every turn.
Correct.
Period.
Yes.
So
the problem was we then got that monster to put on top of this,
which still kept 2 threat.
2.
It was still 2 threat. It didn't go up by 4.
But it also eliminated all of your success results.
It wiped our progress on the thing before.
And prevented us from being able to advance the story.
Right. So you can't get through. You have to, I think once these are in play.
What do you mean these?
These story missions. Once these story missions are in play.
So not this.
Yes, that replaced our story mission.
Correct.
We had to defeat that to get to our next story mission.
Right. I just want to be clear because you keep pointing at this. So when you're talking about it, you're talking about that.
Yes. So I think you just have to go at these, almost ignore these, because there is a chance that when these are flipped up, that's a bad one. Yeah. But there are good chances where you don't get threat. And look at that, all 3 of them are threat. Yeah. But
I think most of them I have.
But defeating this one still leaves you with 2 threat every turn. And I think once you revealed the story missions, it seems like you're at a race. You're at a race to get to the showdown.
Yeah, I mean, this whole game just feels like a race.
Because once you're at the showdown, I believe all these cards go away.
They do.
The story cards, everything. And your threats, all this stuff goes away. All that matters is this.
Correct.
So
all that matters is the final showdown.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yes, you no longer are adding threat to the board. You're taking damage instead.
Set aside the continent decks, the school cards, sentinels attached to the continent missions, and story cards other than their briefing card other than briefing card that started the showdown. Set aside cards are not used for the remainder of the game. So,
and I don't know that threat goes up anymore once you're in the showdown because the villain deals damage.
Yeah, it says each showdown is a set of 2 or more showdown missions to reveal showdown missions. Yeah, I don't think the threat matters once you get to a showdown. Yeah. Except for the fact that I'm assuming you would still draw a threat card.
Possibly.
Oh no, it says threat phase. There's a whole thing. Threat phase. Heroes no longer raise threat during the threat phase, and the threat cards are no longer drawn. Instead, the showdown attacks and activates. So it's just damage. You're just trying to survive damage.
Yep.
So I think where we were doing wrong was we did not have the luxury of ignoring this card and taking our time with these story things. Once the story is ready, you just gotta all go at the story.
Right.
And take these out as soon as possible so that you can get to the showdown, and hopefully you get to the showdown with minimal damage on your character.
Yeah.
That's really...
Yeah, because these get removed, so you no longer have the ability to...
And once you take enough damage, you lose.
Yeah, and when you're in the showdown phase, if you get KO'd, you do not replace a character.
Yeah, you're just dead.
You're just dead.
You're just out of the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we did the rules right. It was tough. I felt like in the beginning we were really good, but this was...
Yeah, getting replaced when we'd already made all that progress was very rough.
And we never even finished.
Yeah, we couldn't even get through them because we kept getting the sentinels that kept getting attached to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was rough. But hey, that was a playthrough. We'll probably play this more, and we'll kind of sort through some strategy and see if we can figure out a better way to go through this without just getting wrecked.
Yeah, and I told the game is very similar to Elder Signs, so there might be some Elder Sign players out there who have like strategies that maybe they know something that we don't know.
Quite possibly.
But yeah, for our first game, it was fun. I'm glad it's hard. If it was too easy, it wouldn't be fun to play.
True.
So, games need to be a challenge, and you got to figure them out.
For sure.
All right, everybody. Well, I'm Gold Leader. She's Patronus. We're Home Based Games, and we're signing out.